Although the serving team does have first strike of the ball, the two bounce rule quickly turns that around and gives the returning team the ability to capture the net first. If they're smart, they'll take advantage of that every time. Now, certainly strong serves will help you out by producing weak returns and/or more difficult trips to the net for the returning team. Yet, the reality is, as the serving team, you will often end up in a more defensive situation as your team is likely 2 back and the other team is 2 up or about to be as the returner makes their way up to the net. It's very important that you handle that third shot in a particular way so that you can end up on offense soon rather than scrambling on defense. And it's important to note that the drop is not always the best answer. So what do you do with the third shot to neutralize the other team's advantage as quickly as possible and begin mounting your own attack as a team? Well, it all depends on the return, and we'll show you what to do depending on what return comes your way. I'm Nicole Havlicek. This is PrimeTime Pickleball. Let's dive into today's topic. Missing one of our videos is like missing an easy put-away. Don't let that be you. Subscribe now.
Alright, so in this video we don't have 4 players, it's just me and my wife, Katrina. So I'm just going to be showing you in a way that we are playing half of the court. But this would be the same, and it would apply the same way as if we had 4 players on the court, okay? So I'm going to go over the 3 ways to transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone, and this is specifically referring to when me or my partner is serving, okay? Because of the 2 bounce rule, we have to stay back, wait for that return to bounce, and then we can hit and make our way and transition to the net. Okay, so this is one of the hardest things to do when you start pickleball, and it is just really hard as you move in levels because the players are so tough at the net. But these are the 3 ways that I like to think about which one I should do in regards to transitioning to the net. Okay, so the very first way I like to do it is I like to work my way in. Okay, so I'm going to hit my third shot, and then I'm gonna come in, and then I'm gonna hit this split step. Okay, I don't want to be moving while they hit the ball at me. I want to make sure I'm set so that I could go left or right and be ready for any ball. And then as I hit that kind of reset mid ball from here, trying to neutralize that ball into the kitchen, I'm going to come up as soon as I can until I hit that non-volley zone line. So you'll probably see me hitting 2 to 3 transitional shots in this area to get up to the line, so then I could try to dominate from the net. Okay, so this is the very first way, and this is working your way in with split steps, making sure you're stopped. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to serve it. We're just playing half the court so that you guys can see how this would apply in doubles. All right, here we go.
As you can see here, the return pushes Jordan back behind the baseline. A good drop is possible, but tough from so far back. Jordan hits a really solid drop, but will not be able to get up to the non-volley zone line before Katrina makes contact with the ball, since he started from so far back behind the baseline. Because of that, he hits his split step well back in the court so that he can push off and head in any direction the ball goes. In this case, because his drop was quite good, he has bought himself a relatively easy 5th shot with which he can continue his progression to the net.
A lot of times my third shot may sit a little high, or it might be not quite as perfect as I want it, but what I'm going to do after I hit my third shot, I'm going to move into the court and give my opponent less court to work with, because if I'm all the way back, they have a lot of court to hit in. But as I close this angle off, I could kind of control it from mid-court, move a little bit closer and control it, and then I'm up at the net. Okay, this puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. And if you have those soft hands, you don't have to rush to the net. You can just work your way in. Okay, so that's the first way that I like to transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone.
When you implement the tips we're sharing in today's video, we're confident it will help your game. As helpful as these tips are, they're only part of the story when it comes to playing winning doubles pickleball. If you want to learn all the strategies you'll need to dominate the doubles court, then you'll want to check out our complete doubles system, so you have a clear A to Z plan to follow. Because when you have a clear and proven plan, you can confidently and systematically win more points in games and have more fun on the court. Go to doublessystem.com today to learn all about it. Alright, let's get back to today's video.
Alright, so now let's jump into the second way I like to transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone, and that is using the third shot drive. Okay, there's a few advantages to this shot. Sometimes you could just win some free points off it if your opponent's at the net. Let's say they're still making their way in after the return, or let's say they're just missing volleys. Okay, so you might win some free points off of that. And also, if I hit that third shot drive low and in a really nice drive, that it's gonna in turn cause them to maybe hit a weak volley, and then I'll have a nice easy fifth shot drop that I could easily hit from mid-court and then work my way to the non-volley zone. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that right now.
Jordan hits a drive from deep in the court and manages to keep it low. That's what you want. His goal is to generate an easier fifth shot drop. His goal is not to hit a winner. He is seeking to force a low contact point and neutralize the good return. He is not attacking. In the example prior to this one, Jordan's third shot drive was very low, which is ideal if you have that level of precision with your drives, but you are flirting with the net somewhat, hitting it that low from so far back. As you can see in this example, his drive was not as low, yet it was good enough, likely due to its speed, to still produce a manageable fifth shot drop with which he could still proceed to the net. A third shot drive that is just so-so typically has a smaller downside than a drop that is so-so. With the drive, the opponent still has to deal with the pace of the shot, whereas a mediocre drop just kind of sits there and is often begging to be attacked. In this example, Jordan has a third shot on his forehand side that he can step into really well, as the return isn't really pressing him. He feels confident taking the shot offensively, so he does, yet his goal is still to generate an easier fifth shot drop. If it becomes a winner or produces an error, that's great, but it's not the goal.
Alright, so now let's jump into the third way which I like to transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone, and that is right after I hit my third shot drop, I'm going to sprint and rush the net so that I could put a lot of pressure on that opponent at the net. Okay, so I only do this when I know and I feel off my paddle, I hit a great third shot, I got it down, and I could make sure my opponent's contact point is low. They can see I'm really sprinting hard. It's going to make it tough for them to decide what to do with that ball. Okay, so it's going to really put a lot of pressure on them, and hopefully they could make an error, or even they could even pop it up, and I could either close on that ball, or my opponent, my partner at the net could also poach on that ball.
Those are the three main ways that you can effectively transition from the baseline to the non-volley zone line. Mastering your transition will put tremendous pressure on your opponents. As we described in the examples, which one you use will depend on what situation you find yourself in. It's important to be selective about how you handle your third shot and adapt accordingly so that you can end up on offense as soon as possible and start stacking up points as the serving team, which of course leads to winning more games. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
Thanks so much for watching. For more free video lessons, please visit PrimetimePickleball.com. But before you head on over there, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, for PrimeTime Pickleball shirts like this and other great apparel, please visit PTPgear.com.